Iceland was the last place on Earth to be settled by humans. Over 1,100 years ago, Vikings from Norway accidentally discovered this wild island. Back then, Iceland was still forming, its land born from fierce volcanic eruptions and covered by vast icy glaciers. It was a harsh, mysterious place no one wanted to live in. Yet, these early settlers chose to make it their home, braving freezing cold winds, erupting volcanoes, and endless storms. Today, Iceland is a land of breathtaking contrasts. Where endless fields of shimmering ice stretching as far as the eye can see, and glaciers sparkle like giant crystals under the cold sun. Steaming hot springs bubble up from deep underground, filling the air with a warm mist. Jagged black lava rocks scatter across the landscape, standing stark against soft green moss and wildflowers. Towering waterfalls thunder down cliffs, their roaring echoes carried across silent valleys. So, how did people survive and thrive in such a tough, ever-changing land? What makes Iceland's beauty so raw, powerful, and unforgettable? Stay tuned, and you'll uncover the surprising history and secrets of this incredible island. Stories you've never heard before. Tucked deep in the heart of Iceland, Svinafellsjökull's a glacier that looks like it came from another world. It is a shining arm of Vatnajökull, the largest ice cap in all of Europe. Its sharp, frozen ridges stretch across the land like waves caught in time, calling hikers and dreamers from around the world. You'll find it inside Skáftafell, once its own national park, now part of the Great Vatnajökull National Park. The drive from Reykjavik takes about 4 hours along the ring road, with stops like Seljalandsfoss, Skógafoss, and the black sands of Reynisfjara along the way. A short hike brings you face to face with the glacier, its surface glowing with deep blue ice, bright snow, and streaks of black ash from volcanoes long gone. From here, the view is something you'll never forget. Glaciers in every direction, mountain peaks, forests, and even the ocean far off in the distance. Svinafellsjökull is so stunning. It was chosen as a filming site for Game of Thrones. Now, before we move on to the next destination, here's a fun question for you. Which national park isn't in Washington? Comment your guess. Rauðisandur is a hidden gem in Iceland's West Fjords that feels like a quiet dream. Unlike most beaches here, its sand glows in warm shades of red and gold, shining softly under the sun. Right beside this peaceful shore, the towering cliffs of Lathrabjarg rise high, home to millions of colorful seabirds. Watching puffin and other birds fly gracefully across the sky is like seeing nature's own gentle dance. The calm waters near the beach often have seals resting or playfully swimming close by. If you're lucky, you might even spot a whale breaking the surface far out in the ocean, adding a touch of magic to your visit. What makes Rauðisandur so special is its calm, almost tropical feel during the summer, a surprising contrast to the wild Icelandic landscape. This beauty comes from the West Fjords being free of volcanic ash, which gives the sand its unique red and golden colors. Beyond its natural wonders, Rauðisandur carries stories from the past, famous tales of love and tragedy that add depth to this already enchanting place. If you are watching this, please click the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It's completely free, but means a lot to us. Snæfellsnes is a beautiful peninsula on the west coast of Iceland, full of stories and nature's wonders. At its heart stands the mighty Snæfellsjökull volcano, reaching 1,446 meters high and capped with a shimmering glacier. On clear days, you can see this iconic mountain all the way from Reykjavik, almost 75 miles away. This volcano is famous not just for its beauty, but as the mysterious setting of Jules Verne's novel, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Around the peninsula, small fishing villages offer a glimpse of local life and charm. The land here is alive with plants. Over 300 types of flowers and ferns bloom, painting the landscape with color. Bird lovers will be happy to know that more than 60 species nest here, including puffins, white-tailed eagles, and short-eared owls. Snæfellsnes is a special place where history, wildlife, and breathtaking nature come together, inviting you to explore its quiet magic. Iceland sits on one of the most active volcanic zones in the world, and the Reykjanes Peninsula shows this clearly. Since 2020, this area has seen lots of volcanic activity after nearly 800 years of quiet. The volcano Fjaðrárgljúfur erupted in March 2021, creating stunning lava flows that captured global attention. More recently, from late 2023 to early 2024, the Sundhnúkur volcano erupted, causing authorities to evacuate the nearby town of Grindavik as a safety measure. Though the town is now open again to visitors, some areas remain off-limits because earthquakes and volcanic tremors have made the ground dangerous. Scientists closely monitor magma buildup beneath the surface near Svartsengi, where land is slowly rising. This signals that more eruptions could happen any time, though predicting the exact timing is impossible. In case of an eruption, alarms will warn people to leave quickly, and clear escape routes have been marked to guide residents and visitors to safety. Iceland's emergency teams run regular drills to prepare for eruptions and other natural disasters, making sure everyone knows where to go and what to do if the ground starts shaking. Landmannalaugar is a beautiful location within the Fjaðrárgljúfur Nature Reserve in Iceland's highlands. It sits on the edge of the Laugarrón lava field, formed by a volcanic eruption around the year 1477. Landmannalaugar is famous for its natural hot springs and unique surrounding landscapes. It marks the northern end of the popular Laugavegur hiking trail. The name Landmannalaugar comes from a hot spring lake bubbling up beneath the Laugarrón lava field. From here, you can see several beautiful mountains, including Barmur, Blanukur, and Brennisteinsalda. The landscape is known for its vibrant colors and one-of-a-kind environment. Landmannalaugar lies near the Hekla volcano and features striking multicolored rhyolite mountains alongside vast lava fields. It's a top tourist destination and hiking hub in Iceland's highlands, offering the perfect starting point for many day hikes or shorter walks. Drangurinn Rock is a giant basalt boulder located in Iceland's remote West Fjords, known for its rugged beauty and mysterious stories. According to Icelandic folklore, a famous outlaw tore the rock from Mount Rauðisandur and dropped it where it stands today. Beneath Drangurinn, caves were used by farmers to shelter their cows and hay from harsh weather. Local myths say elves lived in these caves and cared for cows that gave birth overnight, protecting them from harm. Farmers who respected the elves found their calves safe. Those who didn't faced trouble. High in the remote Icelandic highlands, far from the reach of ordinary roads, lies a hidden lake that feels like a secret whispered by the land itself. This is Skyggnsvatn, a crater lake so clear, so untouched, it seems almost otherworldly. The water here is gin clear, still and deep, like a mirror held up to the sky. What makes Skygnsvatn truly breathtaking is where it meets a glacial river. Here, two different waters flow together, one pure and transparent, the other milky and blue-gray with glacial silt. From above, this confluence paints a scene of color and contrast, as if nature itself were experimenting with light and texture. Surrounding the lake is a wild, moss-covered landscape, dotted with snow-capped peaks and black volcanic rock. Getting here isn't easy. The lake lies deep within the highlands, reachable only by rugged highland roads and a 4x4 vehicle. This is not a place of crowds or comfort. It's a place of stillness, solitude, and cinematic beauty. Svartifoss, meaning black waterfall in Icelandic, is located in Svinafellsjökull within Svinafellsjökull National Park. It is famous for being surrounded by striking dark basalt lava columns, which inspired its name. These basalt columns create a natural amphitheater about 15 to 20 meters high and 30 meters wide at the waterfall's edge. The columns are mostly hexagonal and feature regular horizontal grooves that show how the lava cooled and cracked over time. At the base of Svartifoss, sharp rocks break off more quickly than the water can erode them. The microscopic structure of the basalt reveals plagioclasic crystal aligned perpendicularly to the column's long axis, contributing to their strength. These natural formations have influenced Icelandic architecture, including the design of Hallgrímskirkja Church in Reykjavik. The waterfall is a popular attraction, offering a unique glimpse into volcanic geology. Is Svartifoss Waterfall on your travel list now? Drop a 1 if you've been, or a 2 if you'd love to go. Grábrók Crater rises like a rocky giant in the middle of the valley, standing about 170 meters tall. That's over 550 feet. It may look steep, but there's a footpath with steps that makes the hike much easier and more enjoyable. This crater is part of the Svinafellsjökull volcanic system, one of the longest in Iceland, stretching 90 kilometers across the land. Grábrók is the biggest of 3 craters formed during a volcanic eruption about 3,400 years ago. The lava from that eruption created the wide Grábrók lava field, reshaping the landscape as it flowed. It even changed the path of the Norðara River and helped form the nearby Lake Rauðisandur. Clear water streams now flow from the old lava, especially in a beautiful area called Paradísarlaut, or Paradise Hollow. The hike to the top of Grábrók takes around 40 minutes round trip, and from the top, the view of Borgarfjörður Valley is unforgettable. Down in southern Iceland, where the waves crash against black sand, strange towers of stone rise from the sea. These are Reynisdrangar, mighty basalt sea stacks standing just beneath the cliffs of Reynisfjall. They sit beside the village of Vík í Mýrdal, one of the most beautiful and haunting places in the country. The beach here, Reynisfjara, isn't just famous in Iceland. In 2021, it was named the 6th best beach in the world. But it's not just the view that captures people's hearts. It's the story behind those rocks. Legend says 2 trolls tried to pull a ship ashore in the dark of night, but before they could finish, the sun rose and turned them into stone. Another tale tells of a man whose wife vanished, taken by the trolls to live by the sea, her spirit too wild to be tamed, even by love. These rocks, shaped by waves and myth, now stand frozen in time, watching over the ocean, full of mystery and memory. And if you ever stand there with the wind in your hair and the sea roaring beside you, you'll feel it too. The magic of Reynisdrangar. We gather info from many places. If you spot a mistake or have something to add, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. In the quiet countryside of West Iceland, just a 2-hour drive from Reykjavik, there's a waterfall that whispers an old, heartbreaking story. It's called Barnafoss, which means the Children's Falls. Though only about 9 meters tall, its waters rush with surprising force, twisting through a narrow canyon carved deep into ancient lava. Right next to it is Hraunfossar, where clear spring water flows straight out of the black lava field, like magic pouring from the rocks. But Barnafoss has a darker tale hidden in its mist. Long ago, 2 young boys from a nearby farm tried to cross a natural stone bridge over the falls while their parents were at church. They never made it across. The river took them, and the bridge was said to be cursed by their grieving mother. Not long after, an earthquake destroyed the bridge completely, leaving behind only the sound of rushing water and the weight of memory. Today, Barnafoss is a peaceful place for those who love nature. It feels like a scene from a fairy tale, but Dynjandi Waterfall is real. Hidden in the remote west fjords of Iceland, this mighty waterfall is the largest and most powerful in the whole region. Its name, Dynjandi, means the thunderer, and when you hear the sound of water crashing down, you'll know why. The main waterfall drops from a height of 100 meters. That's over 320 feet, spilling over dark basalt rocks in a shape that looks just like a bride's veil. But Dynjandi is not just one waterfall. It's actually 7 falls stacked like steps down the mountain, each one adding to the beauty. One of them, called Skógafoss, is even gentle enough to walk behind, letting visitors feel the mist on their faces. All the water flows from a high mountain lake called Stóra-Eyjvatn, and during spring and winter, the river swells with snowmelt and rain, turning fierce and wild. Photographers and hikers love this area, especially in summer, when the moor around the waterfall bursts with color and life. Surrounded by barren lava fields, Gjáin Valley appears like an oasis carved by time and fire. Here, waterfalls tumble over black basalt columns, and the Rauða River winds quietly through the rocks and moss. Despite its small size, Gjáin holds a bit of everything: lava caves, ponds, twisted rock formations, and delicate wildflowers. The volcano Hekla looms in the distance, a reminder of how this landscape was shaped and reshaped by fire. In fact, Gjáin lies near Þjórsárvöllur, once home to Viking settlers lost to Hekla's eruption in 1104. Fans of Game of Thrones may recognize Gjáin from the scene with Arya Stark and the Hound, filmed here for its ethereal feel. Seljalandsfoss is one of Iceland's most iconic waterfalls, located on the south coast, about 2 hours' drive from Reykjavik. It is famous for the unique pathway that lets visitors walk behind the waterfall, offering an unforgettable perspective and making it a favorite spot for photographers. The waterfall is part of the Seljalandsá River, which flows from beneath the Svinafellsjökull Glacier. Seljalandsfoss cascades from a tall cliff that once formed Iceland's coastline centuries ago, and the sea is still visible across the nearby lowlands. In winter, Seljalandsfoss takes on a magical appearance, enhanced by floodlights installed in 2001 that illuminate the waterfall at night when the midnight sun is absent. The waterfall's mist often leaves visitors damp, so caution is needed when walking the path behind it. Seljalandsfoss is one of Iceland's most photographed waterfalls due to its unique shape and accessibility. If you're chasing Iceland's most stunning and unusual landscapes, Aldeyjarfoss is a must-see. This beautiful waterfall drops about 20 meters into a striking blue lagoon, tucked away in Iceland's northern highlands along the Svinafellsjökull River. What makes Aldeyjarfoss truly special are the rows of hexagonal basalt columns standing tall on each side of the waterfall. These columns look like someone carefully carved them by hand, with their perfect symmetrical shapes. Centuries ago, during a volcanic eruption, lava flowed down the cliff face here. The outside of the lava cooled quickly in the open air, while the lava beneath stayed warmer longer. As the lava cooled evenly over the surface, it contracted and cracked, forming these unique cylindrical columns with 6 sides, a rare geological formation found in only a few places worldwide. Unlike the dark basalt columns you see elsewhere in Iceland, like at Svartifoss, the ones at Aldeyjarfoss have beautiful yellow and red colors. These come from sulfur and iron left behind from the volcanic eruption, adding a warm glow to the cool landscape. Around 9,000 years ago, as the last ice age drew to a close, melting glaciers carved a winding path through ancient volcanic rock. What it left behind is a canyon so surreal, it feels like something out of a dream. But it's real. This is Fjaðrárgljúfur. Located in southeastern Iceland, this canyon stretches about 2 kilometers long and plunges nearly 100 meters deep. Its steep walls are blanketed in soft green moss, and a narrow river, the Fjaðra, gently winds along the canyon floor. It's an easy walk along the rim, with well-marked paths and viewing platforms offering breathtaking views at every turn. But in 2015, everything changed. After pop singer Justin Bieber filmed a music video here, the canyon went viral. The number of visitors exploded almost overnight, and with them came a wave of environmental damage. Delicate moss was trampled, the soil eroded, and parts of the trail were worn down to bare rock. By 2018, Iceland's environmental agency made the difficult decision to temporarily close the canyon to allow it to heal. Various measures have been implemented to protect Fjaðrárgljúfur Canyon from the detrimental effects of tourism while still allowing visitors to enjoy its natural beauty. Skógafoss is one of Iceland's biggest and most famous waterfalls. It drops 60 meters, or about 200 feet, from a high cliff that used to be the coastline long ago. The waterfall is 25 meters wide, making a loud, powerful rush of water that fills the air with mist. On sunny days, you can often see a bright rainbow or even two rainbows right in the spray. If you walk too close, be ready. You might get soaked by the fine mist. There's a legend about a Viking treasure hidden behind the waterfall. They say the first Viking settler buried a treasure chest there, and long ago, people found the chest but only caught a golden ring before it disappeared again. Today, that ring is kept in a museum nearby, reminding visitors of this exciting story. If you like to hike, a long staircase with over 500 steps takes you to the top, where you can enjoy an amazing view of the waterfall and the Icelandic landscape. Stuðlagil Canyon lies in northeastern Iceland, inside the Jökuldalur glacial valley. This canyon is famous for its tall, hexagonal basalt rock columns that rise sharply from the riverbed. These basalt columns were formed long ago by volcanic lava cooling slowly, creating their unique shapes. The river flowing through Stuðlagil is a bright, almost electric blue, making the canyon look like a natural masterpiece. Until recently, Stuðlagil was a hidden gem, hard to reach and less known to tourists. But now, more visitors come here because the roads and trails have improved, making access easier. Though beautiful, some say the canyon is smaller than the photos suggest, because camera angles can make it seem much larger. Around the canyon, several hiking trails offer views of the rocks and river, but be careful, some paths are steep and slippery, so sturdy shoes are a must. In spring and early summer, nesting birds use the cliffs for their homes, so visitors should be respectful and watch out for them. Vestrahorn is a mountain on Iceland's Stokksnes Peninsula, known for sharp, jagged peaks. These dark peaks rise straight from black volcanic sand, creating a view that feels almost otherworldly. When the tide is low, the wet sand acts like a mirror reflecting the mountains and sky perfectly, a dream spot for photographers. You can walk along the black sand dunes or explore a nearby Viking village film set, which looks like it's frozen in time. The area is easy to visit from Iceland's main ring road, but there is a small entrance fee paid at the Viking Cafe. Vestrahorn has an interesting history. During World War II, it was used as a British Army base, and later, a NATO radar station was built nearby. Movie fans will recognize Vestrahorn from shows like Game of Thrones and The Witcher, where it stood in for fantasy lands. Hiking trails around the peninsula offer chances to see seals and wild Arctic nature. Kolugljúfur Canyon is a hidden treasure right along Iceland's main ring road. This deep gorge, about 40 to 50 meters tall and 1 kilometer long, cuts through the valley of Vididalur. It's carved by the Vididalsa River, known for its sparkling salmon waters rushing below. What makes Kolugljúfur special is a cluster of 7 to 8 small waterfalls called Kolugfoss, all falling gracefully into the canyon. It's just a short walk from the road. No long detours needed to reach this stunning spot. Surrounded by green and brown landscapes, the white foamy water contrasts beautifully with the nature around it. Stopping here is a must when traveling north in Iceland, perfect for those who love nature's peaceful power. You'll want your camera ready because the views here are truly Instagram-worthy. Kolugljúfur Canyon is a perfect mix of easy access and breathtaking beauty, a real gem waiting to be discovered. Can you picture a waterfall glowing with the blue of the deepest ocean? Brúarfoss is not just a waterfall, it's a natural masterpiece shaped by history and mystery. Located in southern Iceland, this stunning cascade flows along the Brúará River, which means River of the Bridge. The waterfall itself drops about 5 meters, split into 2 gentle steps, creating a beautiful U-shaped curve where the water dances and sparkles. The water here is unbelievably clear and bright, almost glowing under the Icelandic sun, as if painted by nature's own brush. But Brúarfoss holds more than just beauty. It carries a tale from the past. Once, a natural stone bridge spanned the river nearby, giving the river its name. However, during a harsh famine in 1602, the church's leader ordered this stone bridge to be destroyed. His goal was cruel: to stop the poor from reaching the church for help. Not long after, that same man was found drowned in the very river he tried to control. Some say it was fate's punishment for his harsh decision. Visitors now hike along peaceful trails to find Brúarfoss, drawn not only by its magical blue waters, but also by the quiet whispers of its mysterious past. Glymur Waterfall is Iceland's second tallest waterfall, located just outside Reykjavik. To reach the waterfall, visitors take a scenic hike that winds through green forest and crosses rivers on narrow bridges. The trail can be a bit challenging, but it leads to an incredible view from the top of the waterfall, where water plunges nearly 200 feet into a deep canyon below. What makes Glymur even more special is its legend. Long ago, a farmer was left behind on a small island during a storm while trying to collect eggs for his village. When the farmer finally returned, a mysterious baby was found wrapped in a blanket no one recognized, left at the church steps. Soon after, a magical woman appeared and cursed the farmer, turning him into a giant whale who caused trouble in the sea. An old man chased the whale up the river near the waterfall, where the whale got stuck and had to jump, making a loud crashing sound. This sound gave the waterfall its name, Glymur, or Whale Lake. Remains of the whale were said to have been found near the lake, adding a magical feeling to this amazing place. If you know more about this legend, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Imagine watching fiery rivers of lava slowly flowing across the land, shaping Iceland's wild beauty right before your eyes. This is exactly what you can see at Fjaðrárgljúfur, an active volcano on the Reykjanes Peninsula. It rises about 820 feet above sea level and sits where two huge tectonic plates meet and pull apart. This volcano is part of a larger volcanic system made of different shaped mountains and lava-covered ridges. After being quiet for about 6,000 years, Fjaðrárgljúfur erupted again in 2021, marking the first eruption on the peninsula in 800 years. The eruption was peaceful, with bright orange lava flowing gently from several vents, some shooting lava fountains up to 330 feet high. Three new cones formed, and a long crack in the ground grew to almost half a mile wide. Lava spread out in all directions, covering about 1.8 square miles and creating new land in a valley called Gjáin. Since then, smaller eruptions have happened in 2022 and 2023, showing the volcano is still very active. Thingvellir is a place where you can touch both Europe and North America at once, and still feel the beating heart of Iceland. This rift valley, just 49 kilometers from Reykjavik, sits on the boundary between two tectonic plates, the North American and the Eurasian. As the Earth slowly pulls itself apart, it leaves behind dramatic cliffs and deep fissures that you can walk between. More than 1,000 years ago, in the year 930, the early Icelandic settlers gathered here to form the Althing, one of the world's first national parliaments. For over 800 years, this was the place where chieftains came each summer to make laws, solve disputes, and guide their young society. They built temporary stone and turf shelters, around 50 of them, many of which still remain in ruins across the grassy plains. The nearby Thingvellir Church and its old farm speak to centuries of religious life and simple living in the harsh Icelandic landscape. And at the southern end of the valley, Lake Thingvallavatn glimmers quietly, home to Arctic char and surrounded by lava fields, now soft with moss and memory. This is Dettifoss, one of Europe's most powerful waterfalls, and the second most powerful after the Rhine Falls. It sits inside Vatnajökull National Park, where the Jökulsá of Fjöllum River crashes down 44 meters into a deep canyon. The water here looks milky gray because it carries sediment from the glacier high above. The falls are huge, about 100 meters wide, and send an average of 193 cubic meters of water flowing every second. Dettifoss is easy to visit thanks to a paved road on its west side, open most of the year. There's a simple trail and a viewing platform where you can feel the spray and hear the thunder of the falls up close. Dettifoss lies on the popular Diamond Circle route, a scenic drive through North Iceland that includes other amazing spots like Lake Mývatn and the town of Húsavík. Visiting Dettifoss is like standing at the edge of raw, wild nature, a perfect place to feel the power of Iceland's landscape. Diamond Beach, one of the most unique and breathtaking places in Iceland. This beach gets its name from the chunks of glacier ice that drift onto the shore, glistening under the sky like scattered jewels. The ice comes from the Breiðamerkurjökull Glacier, which breaks apart and sends pieces floating through the nearby Jökulsárlón Lagoon. Some of the ice shines bright blue, some are clear as glass, and others turn black from volcanic dust or shadows from the sand. Each piece has its own shape and story, making every visit feel like a walk through a frozen sculpture garden. But it's important to stay safe. Bring a flashlight, wear warm clothes, and park only in marked areas. If you visit in summer, you won't see the aurora, but you'll enjoy the midnight sun, where the light never fades. Don't try swimming here, though. The ocean is freezing, often staying below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, even in July. This is Dettifoss, one of Europe's most powerful waterfalls, and the second most powerful after the Rhine Falls. It sits inside Svinafellsjökull National Park, where the Jökulsá River crashes down 44 meters into a deep canyon. The water here looks milky gray because it carries sediment from the glacier high above. The falls are huge, about 100 meters wide, and send an average of 193 cubic meters of water flowing every second. Dettifoss is easy to visit thanks to a paved road on its west side, open most of the year. There's a simple trail and a viewing platform where you can feel the spray and hear the thunder of the falls up close. Dettifoss lies on the popular Diamond Circle route, a scenic drive through North Iceland that includes other amazing spots like Lake Mývatn and the town of Húsavík. Visiting Dettifoss is like standing at the edge of raw, wild nature, a perfect place to feel the power of Iceland's landscape. In the far reaches of southeast Iceland lies Múlagljúfur, a canyon rarely discovered by visitors. Its name means Mule's Canyon, but no one knows exactly why. Perhaps it once guided silent travelers through the wild. Hidden from main roads and tourist maps, there are no signs pointing you to it. Yet, for those who reach it, Múlagljúfur feels like stepping into a secret world. The path to the canyon is quiet and narrow, carved through hills covered in soft green moss. The gravel trail winds upward through steep walls, and below, a stream glistens, fed by distant waterfalls. On a clear day, the views stretch far, across the mountains and out toward Iceland's southern glaciers. Summer is the season when Múlagljúfur shows its full beauty, glowing with color and warmth. Múlagljúfur is not just a hike, it is a journey to one of Iceland's hidden wonders, untouched and quiet. In the far east of Iceland, Eystrahorn rises like a jagged crown above the coast, bold, dark, and strangely quiet. At 2,480 feet tall, this mountain is part of the Snæfellsjökull range and is made of gabbro, a rare lava rock rich in iron and magnesium. Its steep, rocky slopes make it impossible to climb, but you don't need to reach the top to feel its power. Eystrahorn connects to another mountain called Vestrahorn, and between them lies a stretch of black sand beaches, rivers, and small bays. This whole area is called Lawn, meaning lagoon, and it's full of life. Seals rest along the shore and birds fill the sky in summer. Gold, silver, and even mercury have been found in the rocks here, adding a touch of mystery to the landscape. Though it's not as famous as Kirkjufell or Snæfell, Eystrahorn is easy to find, right off the ring road between Höfn and Djúpivogur. Vestmannaeyjar, also called the Westman Islands, is a group of islands off Iceland's south coast that feels like a world all its own. The biggest island, Heimaey, is home to a small town where about 4,400 people live, while the other islands are mostly wild and empty. These islands were formed by volcanoes over the last 10,000 years, with about 70 to 80 volcanoes both above and under the sea nearby. In 1973, the Eldfell volcano erupted on Heimaey, covering part of the town with lava and forcing everyone to leave for a whole month. People worked hard to stop the lava by spraying billions of liters of cold seawater, saving much of the island from destruction. The islands are famous for their amazing bird life. Millions of seabirds like puffins, guillemots, and gannets nest here every year. Seals and even small whales swim in the rich waters around the islands, where fishing for cod and haddock has been important for centuries. The weather can be windy and rainy, but thanks to the warm Gulf Stream, winters here are milder than you might expect. Visiting Vestmannaeyjar means stepping into a place full of nature's power and beauty, with stories of survival and wildlife waiting to be discovered. Jökulsárlón is a stunning glacial lake in southern Iceland, formed when a big glacier started melting over 100 years ago. This lake has grown a lot and now covers almost 10 square miles, making it Iceland's deepest lake at over 900 feet deep. You can see Jökulsárlón right from the main road between Höfn and Skaftafell, where giant blue icebergs float like ghostly boats. The icebergs come from the nearby Vatnajökull Glacier, which slowly breaks off huge chunks of ice into the lake. These ice blocks sometimes look bright blue or milky white, depending on how the ice holds air and light inside. The glacier moves about 200 meters back each year, so the lake keeps getting bigger and changing all the time. Besides being beautiful, Jökulsárlón has appeared in famous movies like Batman Begins and Tomb Raider. Near the lake, you'll also find a wide sandy plain that changes every season and is home to many birds in the summer. Visiting Jökulsárlón feels like stepping into a magical world of ice, water, and ever-changing nature you'll never forget. At first glance, Selfoss may seem overshadowed by its thundering neighbor Dettifoss. But give it a moment, and this wide, graceful waterfall will quietly steal your heart. Tucked into North Iceland's volcanic highlands, Selfoss pours gently from a glacier-fed river, creating a soft, misty curtain across the rocky cliffs. It's only 11 meters tall, but it stretches impressively wide, over 100 meters, making it a breathtaking sight in its own right. Fed by meltwater from the mighty Svinafellsjökull Glacier, the river's strength can vary, but even in winter, its flow remains fierce. Selfoss is part of the famed Diamond Circle route, often explored on tours from Akureyri or the Mývatn area. Its beauty lies in contrast. While Dettifoss roars with power, Selfoss flows with quiet grace. Misty spray, echoing falls, and black basalt cliffs make the scene feel raw and ancient. Reykjanes is a quiet port town on Iceland's west coast, about 50 kilometers north of Reykjavik. Settled over 1,000 years ago, it slowly grew from a small fishing village into the charming town it is today. The town sits by the ocean, where colorful boats gently sway, and the fresh sea breeze fills the air. Fishing has always been a big part of life here, shaping the town's culture and people. Since the 1950s, Akranes has also been known for its cement plant and a nearby aluminum factory. Akranes is also home to many talented artists, writers, and athletes who have made the town proud. Hidden at the far end of a deep fjord, where the mountains meet the sea, lies one of Iceland's most charming little towns, Seyðisfjörður. Surrounded by snow-topped peaks and steep hillsides, this peaceful town feels like a storybook brought to life. You can reach it by driving over the mountain pass of Fjaðrárgljúfur, where the views open wide and the road slowly winds down toward the water. The town was first settled by Norwegian fishermen in the 1800s, and many of their colorful wooden houses still stand today, giving the streets a cozy, old-world charm. Seyðisfjörður became one of Iceland's most important towns in the early 1900s, when it connected the island to Europe with its first telegraph cable. Not long after, it lit up its streets with electricity from a nearby river, the first town in Iceland to do so. And even after landslides damaged dozens of homes in 2020, the people stayed strong, rebuilding their lives in this place of beauty and resilience. Ísafjörður means ice fjord, a name that hints at its cool, rugged beauty. The town sits on a narrow strip of land in the Skutulsfjörður fjord, where calm waters meet towering mountains all around. With just over 2,600 people, Ísafjörður is the largest town in the Westfjords region and a hub for nearby villages. Its history stretches back to the 9th century, when the first settler, Helgi Magri Hrolfsson, made this fjord his home. By the 16th century, it grew into a busy trading post for foreign merchants, and some dark stories from those times tell of witch trials in the area. In the old part of town, you can still find wooden houses from the 1700s, standing like living pieces of history. On the northeast coast of Iceland lies a charming town called Húsavík, known as the Bay of Houses. This small town, with just under 2,500 people, sits quietly by the peaceful waters of Skjálfandi Bay. Húsavík is famous for its beautiful wooden church, built over 100 years ago in 1907, standing strong and proud. Long ago, around the year 870, a Swedish Viking named Gardar Svavarsson stayed here for the winter, making it one of the first places settled in Iceland. When he left in the spring, a few people stayed behind and started the very first farm in this part of the country. Fishing and tourism now bring life and energy to Húsavík, welcoming visitors from all over the world. Until recently, the town was also an important harbor for exporting silica from nearby Lake Mývatn. The gentle bay and surrounding nature create a perfect setting for whale watching, which has made Húsavík famous worldwide. Austurbjallavatn is a small freshwater lake tucked away in the Skaftarapur region of southern Iceland. It sits close to the Vatnajökull volcano, one of Europe's largest glaciers, surrounded by striking volcanic landscapes that tell a story of fire and ice. The lake itself is framed by lowlands and wetlands, creating a peaceful environment where many plants and animals thrive. This mix of water and marshland makes Austurbjallavatn a perfect spot for birdwatching and nature photography. Visitors often explore the area on foot, following easy hiking trails that wind through moss-covered lava fields and quiet marshes. What makes Austurbjallavatn especially magical is how it changes with the weather. From above, its waters shimmer mysteriously in the mist, surrounded by soft clouds that float low over the landscape. This creates a scene both peaceful and otherworldly, like stepping into a living painting. Mývatn is a shallow lake located in northern Iceland, near the active Krafla volcano. This area is full of life, especially many kinds of water birds like ducks that call the lake and wetlands their home. The lake itself was formed over 2,000 years ago by a huge lava eruption, which shaped the land around it with strange volcanic features. You can see amazing lava pillars and unique rootless vents, which are volcanic craters formed without an eruption. The river flowing out of Mývatn, called Laxa, is famous for great fishing, especially for brown trout and Atlantic salmon. Mývatn's name means Lake of Midges because during summer, tiny flying insects fill the air around the lake. The whole area around the lake is protected as a nature reserve, covering a vast space where nature is carefully preserved. If you visit in summer, you might catch the annual marathon that circles the lake, attracting runners from all over. Akureyri is a charming town in northern Iceland, often called the capital of North Iceland. It is the largest town outside the Reykjavik area and sits at the head of a beautiful fjord called Eyjafjörður. This town has a rich history dating back to the 9th century, when it was first settled by the Viking Helgi Magri Eyvindarsson. Akureyri grew slowly at first, but its excellent natural harbor and fertile lands helped it develop into an important fishing and trading center. During World War II, Akureyri served as a strategic air base for Allied forces, protecting vital shipping routes in the North Atlantic. Today, the town is known for its lively culture, growing fishing industry, and the University of Akureyri, which brings new energy and ideas to the region. With the backdrop of the majestic Hlíðarfjall mountain, Akureyri invites visitors to enjoy both its natural beauty and its vibrant community life. We were told ice and fire can't coexist. That where glaciers reign, volcanoes sleep. But Iceland proves otherwise, and nowhere more dramatically than Vatnajökull National Park. This vast wilderness stretches over 1.4 million hectares, covering more than 12% of Iceland's landmass. At its heart lies the Vatnajökull ice cap, one of the largest in Europe, quietly resting atop 8 active volcanoes, some of the most powerful in the country. Two mighty forces, ice and fire, are constantly shaping the land here, with subglacial eruptions melting ice from below and triggering sudden glacial floods known as jökullaups that tear through the valleys. The park sits directly on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where 2 tectonic plates drift apart each year, a slow but unstoppable pull that stretches and cracks the earth open. Some of the rocks here were formed over 10 million years ago, while others were still cooling after an eruption in 2015. This is one of the only places on Earth where you can walk on ice, feel the heat of the Earth, and witness the raw power of a planet still in motion, all in a single landscape. Reykjavik is the capital city of Iceland and the largest town in the country. It sits on the southwestern coast, by the beautiful Faxaflói Bay. This city is special because it is the world's northernmost capital of an independent country. Reykjavik's story begins in the year 874 AD, when a Viking settler named Ingólfur Arnarson arrived here. He chose this place by a unique method. He threw his wooden pillars into the sea and promised to settle where they came ashore. The name Reykjavik means smoky bay, inspired by the steam rising from natural hot springs nearby. For many years, Reykjavik was just a small farming and fishing village without much urban life. But in 1786, it officially became a trading town, growing slowly into Iceland's main center for business and government. Reykjavik grew into a lively city, known for its clean air, friendly people, and rich culture. The city is surrounded by beautiful mountains like Esja and volcanic landscapes that show Iceland's wild nature. A black beach rolling with thick tufts of golden grass. Behind it, the dramatic silhouette of Vestrahorn rises like a jagged wall, watching over the sea. This is Stokksnes, a peninsula that many photographers call sacred. Nestled in East Iceland, just a short drive from the quiet town of Höfn, Stokksnes is where land, ocean, and sky meet in perfect harmony. It is a wide, dark beach made of volcanic sand, where the sea rolls in and out, turning the wet ground into a mirror. On still days, the reflections are surreal. On windy days, the black dunes shift slightly, reshaping the land with every breath. Unlike Iceland's more crowded landmarks, Stokksnes remains relatively quiet. And that silence only makes the views feel more powerful. Stokksnes is privately owned, so you'll need to pay a small entrance fee at the cafe near the entrance. But that also gives you access to the beach and helps maintain the road leading to it. Breiðamerkurjökull is a glacier that has been slowly retreating, leaving behind deep blue lagoons filled with drifting icebergs. These icy giants can float in the cold waters for up to 5 years before touching the sea. Jökulsárlón, the most famous of the lagoons, didn't even exist until a few decades ago. The glacier used to sit right by the road, but now it has moved miles back, carving out this quiet, frozen world. There's another lagoon nearby, Breiðamerkurjökull, smaller and less visited, but just as peaceful. This place has even been used in movies, its icy surface pretending to be Siberia in Tomb Raider. Tourists come here by snowmobile or jeep, winding past wall of ancient ice and beaches dotted with glowing blue blocks. This place is beautiful, but it also shows us how the Earth is getting warmer as the ice slowly melts away. Over 12 million years ago, volcanic eruptions shaped this towering 15-meter basalt stack, now known as Hvítserkur. It's named White Shirt for the bird droppings that cover its surface, creating a stunning contrast between white and black. Rising from the sea like a giant creature with 3 legs, Hvítserkur stands proudly off the eastern shore of Iceland's Svartifoss Peninsula. This striking rock formation was once a volcanic plug, hardened magma that remained as softer rock around it slowly wore away. Look closely at its base, and you'll see 2 holes that give the illusion of a dragon bending down to drink from the ocean. Locals call it the Troll of Northwest Iceland, tied to a legend about a troll turned to stone by the rising sun after trying to attack a nearby monastery. Hvítserkur is also a lively home. Its white shirt comes from the guano of seabirds like fulmars, seagulls, and shags that nest there each year. Visitors and photographers flock here for breathtaking views of the sea, glaciers, and the glowing northern lights reflecting on the water around this natural wonder. To protect Hvítserkur's base from being worn down by the relentless ocean, concrete reinforcements were added in the 20th century, a rare blend of nature's power and human care. Like a glittering emerald rising from a dark, endless desert, Mount Mælifell looks as if it stepped out of a fairy tale. It is a breathtaking, moss-covered pyramid, standing alone in the vast black sands of southern Iceland. At 791 meters tall, this volcano carries the weight of history on its shoulders. For thousands of years, Mælifell was hidden beneath the icy grip of Svinafellsjökull, Iceland's third largest glacier. But around 10,000 years ago, as the last ice age ended, and glaciers slowly melted away, this magnificent peak finally revealed itself to the world. Mælifell rises about 200 meters above its surroundings, formed from volcanic eruptions that took place underneath the glacier itself. This unique process created a composite cone volcano unlike any other. Travelers must time their visits carefully. The road is often wet and sometimes floods, making the volcano reachable only from July through early October. Surrounded by endless wilderness and topped by the pure Icelandic sky, Mount Mælifell promises to capture the heart of every visitor lucky enough to stand before it. Did you know there's a waterfall in Iceland so strong it can carry over 5,000 cubic feet of water every second? That's Gullfoss, which means Golden Falls. This waterfall is part of the Hvítá River, flowing through a deep canyon in southwest Iceland. About a kilometer before the falls, the river suddenly turns west and drops down in two big steps. First, the water falls 36 feet. Then it drops another 69 feet into a narrow, deep crevice that is over 100 feet deep. The whole canyon stretches about 1.6 miles long and is very wide, about 66 feet. In summer, the waterfall is full and powerful, but in winter, the flow slows to almost half. Long ago, some people wanted to use Gullfoss to make electricity. But a brave woman named Sigríður Tómasdóttir, whose family owned the land, fought hard to protect the waterfall. She even threatened to jump into the falls if they tried to ruin it. Because of her courage, Gullfoss was saved and became a protected place in 1979. Gullfoss remains one of Iceland's top attractions and a key stop on the famous Golden Circle Tour, which also includes geysers in Thingvellir National Park. Imagine a mountain shaped so perfectly, it looks like a church steeple rising into the clouds. This is Kirkjufell, one of Iceland's most famous and photographed mountains, standing tall on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. It's not just any mountain. Kirkjufell stands alone, about 1,538 feet tall, with steep slopes that have been shaped over millions of years. Right in front of it, the beautiful Svinafellsjökull Waterfall flows down, making the whole scene feel like a perfect picture. This spot became famous all around the world when it was shown in the TV series Game of Thrones as Met Arrowhead. Even before the show, Icelandic photographers knew this place was magical, but now travelers from everywhere come to see its beauty. Climbing Kirkjufell is very hard and dangerous, so only strong and experienced climbers should try it, and it's best with a local guide. For others, a gentle hiking trail circles the mountain, taking about 3 to 4 hours to enjoy the peaceful nature around it. Grundarfjörður is nestled on the northern coast of Iceland's Snæfellsnes Peninsula. This small town sits by the beautiful fjord called Breiðamerkurjökull and has about 900 friendly residents. Fishing is the heart of Grundarfjörður. Almost half the people here work in the fishing industry. The town is also famous for being very clean and beautiful, winning awards for its neat and welcoming streets. Grundarfjörður's land tells a story millions of years old, with volcanoes and glaciers shaping its unique nature. The mountain Kirkjufell, standing tall nearby, was formed during the Ice Age, carved by ancient glaciers. The weather here can be wild with strong winds and heavy rain, but it is still one of the nicest places to live in West Iceland. Because of its excellent harbor, Grundarfjörður grew into an important fishing and trading town, connecting Iceland to the world. Dettifoss Waterfall is located in North Iceland, along the river Svinafellsjökull, which originates from the Svinafellsjökull Glacier. The waterfall is approximately 30 meters wide and has a drop of about 12 meters. Its water flows over a curved rock formation made of basalt lava, which dates back thousands of years. Dettifoss is known for its unique horseshoe shape, creating a wide semicircular cascade that fans out as the water plunges down. The river's water volume varies seasonally, swelling during spring and early summer due to glacier melt, sometimes increasing flow by several times the usual rate. In winter, parts of the waterfall freeze, creating stunning ice formations, while in summer the flow is strong and powerful, attracting photographers and nature lovers. Dettifoss is easily accessible from the ring road, making it one of the most visited waterfalls in Iceland. The name Godafoss translates to Waterfall of the Gods, referring to a historical event when statues of Norse pagan gods were thrown into the waterfall during Iceland's conversion to Christianity around the year 1000. This cultural significance adds to the natural beauty, making Godafoss both a geological wonder and an important historical landmark. Laki, also called Lakagigar, is a volcanic fissure in Vatnajökull National Park in western Iceland. It's part of the Grímsvötn volcanic system and sits between two big glaciers, Mýrdalsjökull and Vatnajökull. Back in 1783, Laki erupted violently and kept going for about 8 months. During that time, it spewed out huge amounts of lava, around 14 cubic kilometers, and released poisonous gases like sulfur dioxide and hydrofluoric acid. These gases damaged the land, killing more than half of Iceland's livestock and wiping out most of the crops. The disaster led to a famine that claimed the lives of about 1/5 of the country's people. The sulfur dioxide spread far beyond Iceland, cooling the northern hemisphere and causing crop failures in Europe. Some scientists think the eruption also triggered droughts in places like North Africa and India. Today, Laki's long fissures stretching over 25 kilometers remain an impressive reminder of Iceland's powerful volcanic activity. Eldrone lava field is the largest lava flow in the world, covering about 565 square kilometers in southern Iceland. It was created during the Laki eruption from 1783 to 1784, one of the most poisonous volcanic events in recorded history. This eruption caused widespread death to livestock and people in Iceland, and its ash cloud led to crop failures and famine across Europe. Some historians believe the disaster helped spark the French Revolution due to the resulting hardships. The lava field is about 12 meters thick and is famously covered with a fragile woolly fringe moss that gives the landscape an otherworldly look. Because the moss takes nearly a century to grow, visitors are strongly urged not to step on or touch it. Reykjanes Valley, meaning Steam Valley, is located about 40 minutes drive from Reykjavik in the Hveragerði area. The valley is famous for its geothermal activity, with hot springs and steam vents scattered along the hiking trails. A popular hiking route leads visitors through a scenic 3 to 4 kilometer path that ends at a naturally warm river, perfect for bathing in hot water, surrounded by nature. The landscape is a mix of colorful geothermal features, green hills, and bubbling mud pools, offering a unique experience in Iceland's wilderness. The river's temperature varies along its course, allowing visitors to find the perfect warm spot for soaking. Reykjanes is accessible year-round, but the trail can be slippery in winter, so proper footwear is recommended. Hiking to the hot river usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour one way, making it a manageable day trip from Reykjavik. The valley's natural beauty and relaxing geothermal waters make it a favorite spot for locals and tourists alike. Visitors are encouraged to respect the delicate environment by staying on marked paths and taking any trash back with them. The Glacier geothermal area is one of Iceland's most famous natural attractions and a key stop on the popular Golden Circle route. The Great Glacier, or Story Glacier, gave its name to the word geyser, but has been mostly dormant since 1916. This powerful geyser was formed around the end of the 13th century after earthquakes and an eruption of mud Hekla. When active, Great Glacier could shoot boiling water and steam up to 60 to 80 meters high from an 18-meter wide opening. Its dormancy is partly due to rocks and objects thrown into it by visitors over the centuries, though other natural causes may be involved. Today, the nearby Svinafellsjökull Geyser steals the show, erupting every 10 minutes and sending water up to 30 meters high. The Glacier area is a vivid example of Iceland's volcanic power and remains a must-visit for travelers seeking natural spectacle and history. Dyrhólaey is a small volcanic promontory on Iceland's south coast near the village of Vík. Formed by a volcanic eruption around 100,000 years ago during the Pleistocene. It was once an island, which is reflected in its Icelandic name, meaning Door Hill Island. The peninsula rises about 120 meters above the sea, with the Dyrhólaey Lighthouse, built in 1927, standing at its summit. Contrary to popular belief, Dyrhólaey is not Iceland's southernmost point. That title goes to Kotlugtangi, located just east of it on the mainland. A massive natural lava arch extends from the peninsula into the sea, giving Dyrhólaey its distinctive name. Access is via a steep switchback road, recently rebuilt and paved in 2022 to improve the journey. During summer, the cliffs are home to many Atlantic puffins nesting among the rocks. In a daring feat in 1993, pilot Arngrímur Jóhannsson flew an airplane through the lava arch 3 times, marking a historic moment for the site. Sviðafellsjökull is a beautiful preservation area in southeast Iceland, now part of Vatnajökull National Park. It was once a major farm and later became a national park known for its glaciers and mountains. The landscape here was shaped by volcanic eruptions and glacial activity over thousands of years. One of its most famous sites is Svartifoss Waterfall, surrounded by striking black basalt columns. Svinafellsjökull enjoys a surprisingly sunny climate in summer and is home to a natural birch forest and Arctic foxes. The area has a rich history, with farms dating back to medieval times that faced destruction from volcanic eruptions. Farming ended here in 1988, and today tourism plays a big role in the local economy. Visitors can explore many hiking trails, visit restored farmhouses, and enjoy dramatic views of glaciers and peaks. Helgafoss is the third highest waterfall in Iceland, standing tall at 128 meters in East Iceland's Fljótsdalur Valley. What makes it special is the dramatic red and black cliff face, red clay layered between dark basalt from ancient lava flows. The waterfall drops into a deep gorge, and the contrast of colors makes it a striking sight in any season. The hike to Helgafoss takes about 40 to 60 minutes and passes another waterfall, Landmannalaugar, framed by tall basalt columns. Fossilized tree trunks near the falls reveal that this land was once much warmer, millions of years ago. Helgafoss is especially beautiful in summer, when the sun lights up the cliffs and waterfall in the early morning. The trail is well marked and starts from a service area with good parking and nearby restaurants. Helgafoss is more than just a waterfall. It's a window into Iceland's geologic and climate history. Iceland, a place where there's no rush, no noise, yet it leaves a deep mark on every traveler's heart. From roaring waterfalls that tell stories thousands of years old, to vast open plains and towering mountains that reach the sky, Iceland quietly paints unforgettable impressions. Maybe not everyone feels this magic right away, but when you take the time to explore, you start to hear the story of this land. A story of fierce yet magnificent nature, rich history, and resilient people. And when your journey comes to an end, the sound of waterfalls, the stillness of ice and snow, and the grandeur of the mountains will echo in your heart forever. Thank you for joining me on this trip. I hope today's scenes and stories brought you a moment of peace and stirred some beautiful feelings. See you on the next adventure, where new lands and new stories await.